Being a first-time landlord is exciting, but it can also be nerve-wracking and confusing if you don't really know where to begin. There's much more to learn about rental property management than collecting rent, with issues ranging from rental contracts and property code compliance through building good relationships with your tenants and maintaining your property to evictions and even foreclosures. Hey, my name is Greg, and in today's video, I'll walk you through the best property management tips for first-time landlords. These tips will help beginner real estate investors come in prepared to manage their rental properties. While landlords have a long list of to-do tasks, there are some things that every landlord should be aware of before even getting started. This guide will make sure that you have all the basics covered so that you can start your rental property business on the right foot. Once you've bought a rental property, you should proceed to do all the necessary fixes and repairs before marketing your property. Your objective is to make the property rentable and to push your rental rate up without wasting too much time and money on this. There is no need to go above and beyond, as wear and tear are common with rental properties. Even if you provide a luxurious experience for your first tenants, they are likely to cause significant damages to your property. So just fix any existing issues and make basic repairs. The sooner you can rent out your property, the sooner you will start making money from real estate. As soon as your property is ready to be rented out, you have to set the right rental price. This is a very important step in the rental property management process, as it will determine what tenants you will attract, what occupancy rate you will have, and what return you will generate. So, how do you know how much rent to ask for as a first-time landlord? To set the best price for your rental property, you want to conduct rental market analysis. This will help you get an idea of the average rental rate for comparable properties in your area. You may consider asking for a rate that's just below the market average in order to attract your first renters. It is better to give up a bit of your monthly cash flow as long as it is still positive than to keep your property vacant for months in a row. Another very important tip for rental property management is to avoid being caught violating the local rental laws without even realizing it. So, take the necessary time to research the local rental regulations and understand your responsibilities, as well as rights as a landlord. Each state and each city has its own rules and regulations, so don't assume that you can manage a rental property in California just because you already have a couple of properties in Florida. If legal matters are not your strong suit, you can hire a real estate attorney who can thoroughly and clearly explain to you how the law works. Once you have fully understood rental laws, next on your rental property management list is finding tenants. There are multiple ways to advertise your rental property. You can market your property in local publications, on rental websites, and even on social media. Remember that as a landlord, you can't just accept anyone who's interested in your rental property. This is bad property management practice. You have to take extra precautions and evaluate every candidate diligently. In other words, you have to screen your tenants. You don't want to end up having to deal with renters who don't pay rent on time or cause more damage than expected to your investment property. To avoid this, you need to conduct in-depth screening, which includes performing a credit and background check, contacting former landlords, and having an in-person interview. You can make your own screening criteria as long as you don't violate the fair housing law. Remember that discrimination against tenants is illegal. If you're having problems with this step of the rental property management process, you have the option of hiring third-party services to assist you in finding the ideal tenant. After finding a suitable tenant, it is time to write a lease agreement. Since it is your first time in rental property management, you want to look for a few samples. And don't worry, writing a rental agreement is not difficult since you can find free templates online. And if you still have doubts, you can hire a real estate attorney to avoid missing a single thing in the agreement. The rental agreement must have complete details about the rent payment, security deposit, tenant and landlord rights and responsibilities, eviction procedure, and the like. Give your tenants enough time to review the agreement before signing. If needed, make clarifications and adjustments until both parties are fully clear on what they agree. Make sure both you and your tenant sign the agreement. This will protect you from disagreements and prevent misunderstandings that could possibly lead to litigation. Once you have covered all these steps, you are officially a landlord and can start collecting rent. Keep in mind that this doesn't imply that your responsibilities are done. In reality, you are just getting started, and this is where rental property management really takes place. You will have to make time whenever a tenant reports an issue. For example, a plumbing issue needs to be resolved right away to keep your renters and to prevent major damage to your property. In addition, instead of passively waiting for tenants to report issues, you should be proactive in your property management. Schedule times for regular inspections of your rental property. During inspections, you can check the condition of your property, make sure there are no structural problems, and that tenants are not causing excessive damage. You also have to take care of rent collection. After all, you invest in real estate to make money, right? There are lots of ways to collect rent, like checks, deposits, mail, and e-payments. Make sure you have cleared this up with your tenant to avoid misunderstandings. You don't want to tolerate late rent payments, so you must make a clear policy on the agreement and enforce it, like implementing a charge for late fees. Make it clear that late payments can cause eviction. While no one wants to have to go through an eviction, as a landlord, don't be hesitant to resort to this if you've run out of all other options to get your rent. If you're a new real estate investor, know that once you let tenants pay late, they are more likely to get accustomed to it. So make sure you have all the necessary clauses in your lease agreement and you stick to them. Last but not least, rental property accounting. To successfully manage a rental property business, you need to have a clear record of your rental income, expenses, taxes, and all other finances. Doing the accounting for your income property is not easy and takes time, so you may consider hiring a part-time accountant. However, keep in mind that you have to add this additional cost to your rental expenses and check whether this still leaves you with positive cash flow. No matter how you go about your rental property management, the ultimate goal is to always have positive cash flow. That's how you make money in real estate. So these are some of the absolute best property management tips for first-time landlords. And if you're an experienced landlord, what worked best for managing your rental properties? Do you have some tips that you want to share with new rental property owners? Please do so in the comment section below. If you enjoyed today's video, remember to give it a big thumbs up and to subscribe to our channel for new real estate videos every week. We'll see you next time.